Oh, hello. Let's go into my DFS NFL picks for Week 1, 2018. What's going on, fantasy football fans? I'm your host, Hussein the Brain, and you're watching The Couch. These are my daily fantasy sports NFL picks for Week 1. If you don't play DFS, you don't like daily fantasy sports, that's all good. I still highly recommend you watch this video because we're going to be talking a lot about NFL, a lot about stuff that's going to apply to season-long fantasy football, such as high-scoring games, the weather. There's going to be a shootout, some good defenses, risk versus reward, high floors, high ceilings. I try to provide the best information to you guys while also doing it in the least boring fashion. It's been a long time of waiting since you guys have been waiting for the next DFS video, so let's jump right into it. In these videos, we're going to specifically focus on DraftKings pricing, DraftKings salary. A lot of what I say is also going to apply to FanDuel, but the site I will be using on these videos, I plan to, is going to be CryptoFantasySports.com. I've partnered up with them, and I'll provide a link below in the description so you can go ahead and play on Crypto Fantasy Sports. I'm going to be playing there, but it's still a new site, so that's why I'm definitely going to be giving out advice for DraftKings and FanDuel. The good thing about Crypto Fantasy Sports, and I've talked to them and made sure that this was the case, is that the salary on CFS is the exact same as DraftKings. So if you're playing on DraftKings, it's going to be the exact same. So if I tell you, hey, this player is 9,000 on DraftKings, pick him, he's going to be 9,000 on Crypto Fantasy Sports. I'm doing a special promotion, so if you sign up, just follow the link below in the description. It's going to help support this channel. And also, if you enter any contest, even the free roll, so if you enter the free contest on CFS, I will pick one random winner to win a real NFL jersey. That's right. Any jersey you want, up to $100 on NFL Shop, the real deal. Any of these jerseys, really anything you want on NFL Shop, up to $100, I will give it to one random person. All you got to do is follow the link below in the description, sign up, and enter any NFL contest for Week 1. After you do that, leave your username below as a comment, okay, and I'll check, make sure you entered, make sure you're there, and I'll pick one random winner to win an NFL jersey. So basically for 100% free, all we're trying to do is get signups for this site. 100% free, guys. You can enter, and I wish you good luck on winning that NFL jersey. Let's go into the picks. Man, do I love DFS, man. I just love it so much, and man, thankfully it's back. Sorry for the late upload, but here we go. This is what we're going to do this week. I'm not focusing on quarterbacks and wide receivers, at least not in the beginning of this video. How I'm structuring my lineups is focusing on all the other positions. First, I'm going to focus on RBs. I'm going to focus on tight ends. And on CFS, actually, you do pick a kicker. All the kickers are 2,500, so it doesn't change too much your strategy, even if you're playing on DraftKings, for example. And then we'll pick the stacks later. I'm going for stacks this week. I feel like just win hard or lose hard, I'm stacking quarterbacks and wide receivers, whether I'm playing a GPP or a cash game. I love stacking this week. So we're focusing on RBs, tight ends, kickers, defenses. We're also focusing a lot on cheap players, but we're going to go through every position. Don't you worry. That's just my mindset. And always remember, guys, in cash games, you want safe, reliable, consistent players that we can start, we know that have a high floor, will get you a guaranteed, well, you know, guarantee, and there's no real guarantee, but the closest thing to a guarantee to get us legit points that we can trust, that we know they're going to get some kind of points, some kind of production, get a lot of targets and touches, and do well in the game. In GPPs, we're going for high upside plays. We're going for contrarian picks, sleepers, players that other opponents, other contestants aren't really picking. With that being said, let's go to the running back position. There are no better running backs this week as far as being the best players, highest ranked players, than David Johnson. Oops, I got to clear this. Than David Johnson and Alvin Kamara. So David Johnson doesn't have the greatest O-line, but man, is this guy talented. He's saying he can go 1,000 receiving, 1,000 rushing this year, and I completely believe. It's like no one's taking him lightly when he says that. You know, 99% of backs said that, we'd be like, this guy's just full of it. You know, like some people say, like, I'm the next Michael Jordan. Like, he'd just be like, yeah, shut up, dog. So David Johnson, when he says 1K, 1K, a lot of people believe it, or at least they don't take him lightly. I believe he can do it. I believe there's a good chance he's going to be able to do it. So for 8,800, you're getting probably the best back this week. And then Alvin Kamara. Little bit more risky, I guess, because with Alvin Kamara, you're relying on less carries and relying much more on the home run play. But as far as this guy's one of the best receivers in the league, period. He runs wide receiver routes. He has wide receiver talent, wide receiver skill set, and he's just a great running back on a great team, one of the best teams in the league, a team that will have the lead, and Ingram is out. Not too many other running backs on the Saints. So even though I still can't picture Kamara getting more than 17 carries every time he touches the ball, it's going to be huge. Also in PPR, man, this guy averaged 5 catches a game, over 5 catches a game last year. So when you get a point every time he catches the ball, he's good. I mean, enough said. Like, do I really have to sell you on Kamara? Prices are high, but it'll be so easy to squeeze at least one of these running backs, DJ or Kamara, this week. It's gonna be so easy, guys. With all the salaries are messed up week 1. A lot's happened. Okay, so moving on to the mid-tier, I really like Joe Mixon. So those two guys I really like, by the way. There's really no way around it. At mid-tier, I really like Joe Mixon, 6,100. You're going to be saving, what is that, 2,000, nearly 3,000 a salary cap if you pick Joe Mixon. So I like that. Drake, I do like, but not as much. I think Drake's more of a contrarian pick because of all the sexy things going on this week. The super cheap players, the super awesome players like Kamara. We have Kenyon Drake that's going to be lost in the shuffle. So if you're in a big pool GPP, I like Drake, man. Drake, 5,900. I think he's going to be slept on. Do I have a lot of confidence in him? Not really. He has the talent. He can catch. He can run. He does everything really well. But not the best. You know, I just don't have the most confidence. But like I'm saying, contrarian pick. Also pretty cheap too. Lamar Miller, same exact scenario here, guys. Not a guy you're going to rely on, but super cheap option. Now, let's go into the guys I really like. These are almost must picks. James Conner. Le'Veon Bell didn't report. He's 100% not playing week 1. So Le'Veon Bell won't even take 1 snap. That's a guarantee. James Conner, 4,500. I see this man touching the ball nearly 30 times. Week 1. There's going to be rain. We don't know the intensity of the rain, but there's definitely going to be rain in this game. They're facing the Browns. They're at Cleveland. No Le'Veon Bell. I already mentioned that. Also, we're expecting around 20 mile per hour winds, and I read 30 mile per hour gusts, whatever that means. So I guess that's when the wind deflects. It's going to feel like 30 miles per hour. Whatever. It's going to be super windy. Anything above 15 miles per hour, worry about. 20 miles per hour, that means that there's not going to be a lot of deep passes. This could be kind of a close game. The Steelers are still expected to win. They almost always beat the Browns. He's a good back, and the O-line's pretty good. The offense is really good. Steelers are a good team. They seem to always make the playoffs, and man, I mean, enough said. James Conner, that's chalk right there. You got to pick him in a cash game for sure, and I'm probably picking him in at least 1 out of 3 GPP contests I enter. Then similar to Conner, we have Royce. Exact same price range. Royce Freeman, you know, I drafted him in every league just about. You know, I had him ranked at really high on my top 300 list. You know, when you guys drafted him, a lot of people told me you guys were made fun of for drafting Royce Freeman because you drafted him so early. Boom, he's the starter. Boom, he's very talented. And boom, Denver Broncos offense may be rejuvenated. They may not suck anymore like they have the past 2 years. And I think the probability of them not sucking like they have the last couple of years is very high. Royce Freeman, super cheap. But you know me, I'm very cheap. So I got to give you guys some other cheap options and whatnot. Alfred Morris, only 3,600. I'm not going to talk about this guy much. It's not a great matchup against the Vikings, but he's the cheapest running back. Then we have Marlon Mack. This is a really serious situation here. Marlon Mack, starting running back for the Colts. Will he play? It's looking unlikely. If I had to put a percentage, 65, 75% chance Marlon Mack will be out week 1. If that's the case, Wilkins is the guy to start at only 3,700. So you might have to check 90 minutes before the game or whatever it is, or check tomorrow, or just start him blindly, whatever. 3,700, that's really cheap. Opponent, Bengals, not the sweetest matchup ever. Bengals D's okay, but not the best, not bad either. Like, I mean, if you're starting a running back against the Bengals, that's not so bad. And then if you want to be super risky, you want to take some risks here, you dare to go with Nyheim Hines, who's not going to be picked at all in any contest. This is the riskiest pick. Well, not the very, very risky, probably one of the riskiest picks, but also the most contrarian running back I could think of, Nyheim Hines. He catches the ball very well. He's fumbled 4 times in the preseason. I was very high on him as a sleeper. He made me look silly. He embarrassed me. So, Hines, please do something. I drafted you like in 2 leagues. 3, probably. Okay. Moving on. Let's go to tight ends. This is actually, tight ends always very tricky, but this time tight end's going to be very easy. It's so simple, guys, because there's not a lot of tight ends in this slate. Some that I like Burton's not in this slate, for example. Rob Gronkowski, best tight end this week. That's all you got to say. Travis Kelce, second best tight end this week. Gronk is 6,900. Kelce, 64. Olsen, a little bit contrarian, hasn't played in about a year, and he's old, and he has back issues. He's questionable. He should play. I love this stack with Cam Newton. I love this matchup. Greg Olsen, a little bit contrarian, very talented. Should be good. Price isn't too bad. Who else we got? Rudolph. I think this is kind of a boring pick. Mid-priced right here, 4,500. Very touchdown-reliant tight end, but a tight end that could get multiple touchdowns this game against the Niners. Who else we got? Jordan Reed, 4,000. Man, is that cheap. When this guy's healthy, and I guess he's healthy, start him. See, in season-long leagues, you got to be scared of Jordan Reed, but we're only worried about week 1. Seems healthy this week. $4,000? I don't know, man. That's quite a bargain. Kind of the same thing with Eifert here, 3,400. Very risky though. I'm not relying on Eifert. I don't know if he's going to be on snap count. I don't know if he'll get injured week 1. It's just kind of weird. And let's up the risk. Let's up the contrarian pick. And I'm trying to find him, Mike Gesicki. Oh, there's Ricky Seals-Jones for 3,000. Okay. But I want to talk about Mike Gesicki. If you're looking for a boom or bust tight end, folks, there's no more boom and no more busty than Mike Gesicki. At 2,900, really enough said. I mean, you guys, I talk about Gesicki like every time I'm on a video. Starting tight end, Adam Gase is the coach. Only 2,900. If you're starting him, don't be shocked if you get a 0. Don't be surprised if you get a 0. Expect a 0. But also, he has that chance to be like a top 3 tight end this week. I really believe that. Chances of that happening, unlikely, but I wouldn't be shocked if he was a top 3 tight end in this slate. Out of all these tight ends listed right here. Moving on. Defenses. This also is very simple right here. Usually defenses and tight ends is very tricky. There's so many options. You don't know what to do. This week, not so much. Ravens D. I think you got to go. I mean, there's just... that's it. You're playing against Nathan Peterman. The weather's not ideal. And, I mean, it's the Bills. Probably the worst team in the league. The price is worth it. I do want to give you guys some other options, though. 3,600, the Saints going against Fitzmagic. That's pretty good. Saints will win that game. Steelers going against the Browns. I don't like this, but I did want to mention it just because it's bad weather, high winds. Josh Gordon is probably not going to play too much, but we have no idea how much he's going to play realistically. Price is too high, though. Why do I even have him on this list, right? Titans D, 2,900. I want to give you guys some cheaper options. Good matchup going against the Dolphins. Dolphins not a great team, but the Titans, do you really want to rely on them? The answer is no, unless you absolutely have to spend less on. Just an example, it's 900 cheaper than the Ravens, just to give you guys some perspective there. Bengals, where are you guys? Bengals 2,700, sleeper, contrarian. You're just, don't expect much, but they do have some upside. Bengals D, a little bit underrated. Got that good cornerback, WJ3. Got a good D line. Let's see if the other players can do a little something. Cardinals D, same thing, super sleeper. Going against Washington, you're basically you put it on a blindfold and throwing a dart here, but 2,500 is cheap. Now, here's one that this is really important, guys, this one here. Patriots, 2,400. Now, I'm mentioning the Patriots D at 2,400. It's a shootout. They're going against Deshaun Watson. That's not good. Patriots D is not the best. Why do I mention this? Because there's a chance that Will Fuller doesn't play. If Will Fuller doesn't play, this Texans team is going to be much more closer to being a one-dimensional team. It's still going to be tough. But this is my cheapest selection, though. So if you really need to squeeze that salary cap for some reason, I don't know why you need to this week. You don't really need to. But I'm just giving you options. That's what I do on this show. That's what we do, guys. Options, okay? 2,400. Only if Will Fuller doesn't play. That way, I think Bill Belichick will be able to scheme the defense and pull it off. I mean, either you triple team Hopkins or you stop Deshaun Watson and Lamar Miller, and let Hopkins loose one-on-one. Whatever he decides to do, he'll make it work. But like I said, guys, I'm really a stickler on this. If Will Fuller plays, I would not pick the Patriots D, no matter how crazy you are or what you're trying to do. Let's move on. The quarterback. I hate Cam Newton, but this week, man, this guy has so much potential. And when I say I hate Cam Newton, you guys can check out the podcast video I did on our second channel, Fantasy Couch Podcast. I go in depth why I don't like Cam Newton, and it's basically more in season-long leagues. It's basically like, I know if the man stays healthy for 16 games and plays 16 games, I know he's going to put up fantasy points. Like, he'll easily be a top 7 quarterback, have top 3 quarterback potential. I know that. That's basically a fact. I just don't like picking Cam Newton in season-long leagues. But this week, going against the Cowboys, this man will be able to pull it off. He has Christian McCaffrey. He's got Greg Olsen. He's got DJ Moore. He's got Funch. Well, Funchess sucks, but he does have Funchess there. And the man is one of the best rushing quarterbacks ever. He's insane. I'd consider him a top 15 running back, and he's a quarterback. That's how good Cam Newton is. So Cam Newton is priced at $6,900. I guess we can talk about Brady here, but I mean, Brady's Brady, $7,200. I'll probably avoid him. A little bit pricey. Cam Newton, $6,900 is worth it. The safest quarterback this week is going to be Drew Brees, one of the most efficient quarterbacks, one of the most accurate quarterbacks, Hall of Famer, $6,800 going against the Bucs. He owns the Bucs. He will win this game. He will make plays. Now, he's safe. His upside, not necessarily the best, though, because once they whoop on the Bucs the first quarter, the first 2 quarters, the second half, this man may not need to throw the ball a lot. Then again, no Ingram, who was kind of the hammer as far as running backs go. So Drew Brees, I just kind of like all around. If you're going to rely on a quarterback, you're going to rely on Drew Brees. With Cam Newton, I can't rely on his accuracy. I can't rely on his receivers that much. Greg Olsen's old. Other than C-Mac, there's not much there. DJ Moore's a rookie. Funchess is trash. He's not a good receiver. Drew Brees, though, this man is amazing. He's going to throw to Kamara. Even Ben Watson will get involved. Cameron Meredith's a huge sleeper. You got Ted Ginn / that rookie. And then you have, of course, Michael Thomas, who's a top 5 wide receiver in the league. The man's amazing. So with Drew Brees, man, I think in a cash game, I love him. I don't know if there's a better quarterback in a cash game than Drew Brees. Deshaun Watson, if Will Fuller plays, this man has the most upside. I think that's that. We're moving on, $6,700. This is an interesting one. Chargers game. So we have Phillip Rivers, $6,400, and Mahomes, $6,000. No Joey Bosa, and Eric Berry is doubtful. Eric Berry destroys Phillip Rivers. and Joey Bosa, one of the best defensive players in the entire league. With those guys out, this is a very interesting game. I like Phillip Rivers. Mahomes, I like it. Mahomes, you can stack with so many players. Phillip Rivers, you can stack with Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Patrick Mahomes, you can stack with Watkins. Take a risk. Kelsey, amazing tight end, top 3 tight end in the league. And, of course, Tyreek Hill. So that might be an interesting game to target there. Some more risky picks. We have Andrew Luck. I just feel like this might be, he's kind of in mid-price at 6,100, might be overlooked. And Andy Dalton, kind of, you want to trust Andy Dalton? I don't. But a lot of stacks you can do, a lot of creativity you can do with Andy Dalton. And this could be a sneaky shootout, guys. Luck versus Dalton. Colts has the worst defense in the league. Another sneaky pick, Blake Bortles, 5,600. I love this because you can save so much money. The stacks will be crazy. You can stack them with Cole, stack them with Moncrief, stack them with ASJ, stack them with Westbrook if you want to be risky. Bortles, 5,600. He's cheap. And if you want to save the most money, go with Tyrod Taylor, 5,400. And none cheaper than that, guys. None cheaper than that. And wide receivers, this is pretty much self-explanatory. You pick your quarterback, you stack them. Stack them, stack them, stack them. Which means if I pick if I pick Deshaun Watson, I'm stacking him with Hopkins or Will Fuller. That's what I'm doing. I have DeAndre Hopkins, my number 1 wide receiver this year if Will Fuller plays. If Will Fuller doesn't play, I don't know what Bill Belichick's going to do. He might triple team Hopkins and shut him down. You triple team him, I think you will shut down Hopkins. If you leave him one-on-one, oh boy, he's going to let loose. I don't know what Belichick's going to do, though. He might go one-on-one with him. He might do that. Put his best corner on Hopkins. We don't know. Michael Thomas, just like Drew Brees, this is the safest wide receiver to pick this week. Guaranteed, man. 90 receiving yards, maybe a touchdown, guaranteed. As close as a guarantee as you'll get. Keenan Allen, underrated, 7,500. When this man is healthy, he's amazing. AJ Green, that's more for like a Dalton stack. Still good, though. Good matchup for sure. It's going to be tough to defend all these guys. Let's see if they just had AJ Green. That would be tough. But they have Eifert, they have Mixon, who's basically a receiver, and they have John Ross, and they have other receivers. It's going to be, you can't really triple team AJ Green. You can't do that. Keep saying triple team. It does. People do triple team. Odell Beckham gets triple team sometimes, guys, or he used to at least. I don't know if they can do that anymore. There's a lot of weapons on the Giants. Just going through some sleepers here. I don't like Thielen in season-long leagues. I think he's overrated. But this week at 6,900, a little bit expensive, will be a contrarian pick. I think he'll have a big game. Baldwin, same thing. Like contrarian, he's got that knee issue. I think he's lying. I think he'll be fine. He has a tough matchup against the Broncos. 6,200 mid-level price. He'll slip through the cracks. Contrarian pick right there. Chris Hogan, he's just great. How do you not like Chris Hogan this week? The price is right. 6,100, number 1 wide receiver on the Patriots. We all know Brady, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, if not the best quarterback of all time. The GOAT, the Hall of Famer. He's been to so many Super Bowls, won so many Super Bowls. Chris Hogan, 6,100. I mean, the price is too low. What else we got here? Corey Davis, 5,600. Intriguing option. Number 1 wide receiver on the Titans. Completely unproven. Jarvis Landry, good stack with Tyrod. What's his price? 5,500, but, you know, maybe not too much upside, though. Sammy Watkins, good stack with Mahomes. If you want to take a risk, not someone you want to rely on. This is just GPP. Will Fuller, love it, but only in GPP, only in tournaments. What do we got here? Amendola, where are you at? Amendola, what's the price? I wrote down 4,200. Ooh, that's cheap. Okay. Now I remember why I like Amendola. 4,200, super cheap. I doubt Parker is playing. I didn't even look. I'm pretty sure Parker's not going to play. Devontae Parker. That guy's always hurt. So if he's not playing, and I'm pretty sure he's not, Danny Amendola, 4,200, super cheap. DJ Moore, super risky, 4,100. I still think he's the most talented wide receiver on the Panthers. What else we got? Oh, here's some more risky guys. John Ross, 3,900, super risky. Mike Williams, 3,900, super risky. And Ryan Grant, 3,900, is super just stack them with luck. Basically, those last 3 guys are stacks. And we got to finish this video off with a little kicker here. Keelan Cole, 3,800, probably my favorite cheap wide receiver this week. That's super cheap. And Keelan Cole, thank you. You're the reason why we won't ever go over the salary cap this week with players like Cole, Royce, Connor. How the heck are you going to go over the salary cap? Even Tyrod Taylor if you have to. Not a ton of upside, but I like Tyrod Taylor because of his rushing ability and the price. So many cheap options this week. You'll be able to get the Ravens D. You'll be able to get a Kamara / DJ. You'll be able to get Hopkins / Keenan Allen or Michael Thomas. You'll be able to get at least one of those guys. If you want, you'll be able to get Kelsey or Gronk. Whether you're playing on DK, FanDuel, whatever it is, I wish you guys good luck. It gets you an entry to get that NFL jersey of your choice. So please, guys, follow the link below. Go to Crypto Fantasy Sports, sign up, play in an NFL contest, comment below your username that you signed up with on CFS, and I'll pick one random winner to win an NFL jersey. If you guys appreciate the content I put out, man, leave a thumbs up, man. I really appreciate you guys. Hopefully this video was of value to you. If you don't like it, go ahead, leave a thumbs down. It's all good. Subscribe to the YouTube channel by hitting the couch icon to the side of me, right over here, I think. I get it mixed up sometimes. I think it's on this side. And hit that bell icon so you won't miss any future videos. I'll see you guys on the next video / live stream.